Sunday, final day of the deload week, and I'm feeling somewhat fresh today. I had a bit of a sleep in today because I got to bed like ridiculously late last night with the podcast being on. I think we wrapped it up at around 1:30 this morning, and then by the time I had another meal, let that settle, that sort of thing, got to bed, it was about 3 a.m. So I didn't wake up really until, what was it? I believe I woke up at 11 a.m. So a very late start. I'm usually up well and truly before then. But I definitely needed it after last night. I was absolutely trashed, for lack of a better term. So yeah, here finally to get into the last session of the week for this deload week, and then it's back to pushing hard and training next week, provided that I'm feeling good. If not, I might, like I said earlier, and I think it was like yesterday's training session, that I might extend the deload to say a 10-day duration instead of 7. But that'll only be if I'm still feeling absolutely trashed tomorrow when I wake up. If muscle soreness is still like more than a 3 out of 5, then I'll definitely extend the deload. But if not, if it's about a 2 out of 5, 1 or 2 out of 5, I'll start normal training again, basically. So all I've got to do now is mix up my EAAs and then get in there and do the training session. I bought the Concord grape with me today because I've been having the blue raspberry the last few sessions, and I just thought I'd mix it up a little bit, keep the taste buds guessing. But I'll have this obviously in the session. Before the session, I'll have my G-Beat energy drink. And then, yeah, home after this, eat, do a bit of content recording, and then bedtime shortly after that. I've got to reset my body clock for the new week, so I don't want to be having a late night tonight. And it's already 7:15 at night, so I won't be getting in a lot of work tonight, just a little bit. So if I obviously work, say, 1 or 2 hours tonight, by the time I get to bed, it'll just be way too late, and I'll be carrying over the bad habit or the bad routine that I kind of started today by sleeping in so late. But that's what the weekends are for, guys. Like, if you need a little bit of extra rest or recovery, have a few extra hours sleep if you can afford to, and don't carry those habits over into the new week though. Before Monday rolls around, just do a full reset, go to bed a little bit earlier than you might usually go to bed, or than you say might want to go to bed, and get up at a reasonable hour, start the week strong. Because the longer you leave habits like this, the harder they are to kind of undo and override. So as soon as you start slipping up on your sleep schedule, try to fix it as quickly as possible. Because with every passing day, it becomes more and more difficult to kind of do a full reset. Went with I think it's blue raspberry. Berry bomb. Yeah, blue raspberry, I'm assuming. So I have this, should pick me up a little bit, wake me up. Usually I don't have caffeine this late, like this close to bedtime, but I just want to get through the work after this session. And even though this session is a delayed one, it's probably not going to really mentally tax me or create too much brain fog. I'm thinking of throwing in a little bit of hamstring tonight, in addition to my usual back bicep work that I do today, or back bicep rear delt work. So if I throw a little bit extra hamstring work in, it might tax me a little bit more. But I'm going to keep it sub-maximal because it is a deload week. So yeah, just having a bit of caffeine. It's only like, I believe, 100 to 150 milligrams in here. So not a lot. And by the time I do go to bed, I mean, at least 1/3 of it will be out of my system by that point. So it won't be too bad. Be probably dealing with just shy of 100 milligrams of caffeine in my system at bedtime, and I can go to sleep with that. That's no worries whatsoever. So yeah, in terms of the flow or the order of the session, of course, biceps will be first, then the rear delts, back, and from there throw in a couple of hamstring movements, potentially glute hamstring movements, I should say. And then yeah, it'll be time to head on home. So I'll drink this and I'll see you guys in there for the session. Now I actually just realised it's been a minute since I did calves. I think at least 2 days now, so I'm going to do 2 working sets. There we go. terms of weight, last time I did a heavy session, so I'll go lighter today. 2 high rep sets, that'll be enough. Submaximal, as expected in the deload week. Because I'm going so submaximal this week in deload week, I don't mind shaving time off the rest intervals, so I'm going to pretty much just do, say, 50% of the rest interval I normally do for each exercise, I think. The same as last week, 25 kilo spider curls. Just aiming for 3 reps less than what I got last week, which means exactly, let's have a look. I'm aiming for exactly 10 reps and then calling it at that. Biceps are feeling pretty shot still, so I don't think I'm going to push for more, even if it feels on the easier side. I'll just stop at 10. Second and final set. Now with these dumbbell incline curls, really just going to focus on just hanging out in the stretch as much as I can without taxing the biceps too much. So if it's feeling like it's a little bit too hard, I'll come back up out of that stretch, but if not, I'll just spend a little bit more time in that bottom position on each rep, just to really help kind of direct some blood flow, fully lengthen the muscle fibers, just aid in recovery. Okay, on to rear delts now. Face pulls, and then obviously that will transition me into my back training because this kind of hits the upper back a little bit as well. Yeah, I only got 3 sets on this today instead of the usual 8, so more than a 50% cut on this exercise, but I think it's going to really resensitize my rear delts for training stimulus in the new training block that kicks off next week, so it's going to be a positive, let's just say that. I'm going to benefit more from this aggressive cutback in volume than I am going to, I suppose, be negatively impacted by it. So now we've got 2 sets of this, just a parallel grip pull down. But because I only got the minimum reps in the rep range last week with my working weight, instead of trying to aim for less reps, which would cause me to basically not meet the minimum rep target requirement for this exercise, I'm just going to drop the weight back 20 pound from what I did last week in my normal week of training. So basically, same number of reps as last week, 20 pound lighter, as opposed to, say, shaving 3 reps off the weight I did last week on this, which would cause me to only hit, say, 8 or 7 reps when the minimum rep target is 10. So yeah, aim for 12 reps, 160 pound instead of 180, and that'll be enough for the deload. Then just 2 sets instead of 3. My left shoulder blade feels a little bit tight at the moment, so I'll try hanging out in that stretch a little bit more, see if I can open that up a bit. Ten reps, and that'll be more than sufficient for this week's deload. Okay, so only 2 sets of this, then same time. Okay, all done now. Time to head home and call it a day. Tomorrow is a new day and a fresh start to a new week. And fingers crossed I'm feeling good so I don't have to extend the deload. Because if that's the case, I'll be kicking the new training block off tomorrow. That'll be fun. A little bit of a change from what we've seen me do in my training sessions up until this point. So it'll be a little bit more interesting for you guys. I really don't care if I honestly did the same exercises for another several months, but it's getting a little bit stale. So I need to introduce some novel stimulus. I've been doing these for a while now. In a solid, I think, 15 weeks at least. So yeah, time for some variety.